way that they approach it is far and away improved over the last couple months. So shout out to their coach. Their communication has been phenomenal. But this is a game that I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say. It's called Jenga. And
it's called Wood Tower.
We decided to play it during the breaks today. And in doing so, we asked each team to write on a Jenga tile their message to the world. I said, you know, Face It Classic coming up. What do you want to tell the world? I don't know what's on here. So whenever we pull one of the team tiles, we're going to read it. And that's pretty much the name of the game. So Cameron, do you want to make your first move? Also in chat, I want you to know who you think's going to win, me or Cameron.
Okay. I haven't played Wood Tower in a long time.
Me, vote for me.
So...
Is Wood Tower what we're calling it for copyright reasons?
That's the non-trademark name. Wooden Tower.
Wooden Tower. Ooh, it's shaking.
Well, yeah, that's because we got people dancing around in the corner.
Yeah, no more dancing. All right, you got it out.
Okay. Oh, this is a really easy one. This is from, should I say the message or
say the name first? Who's the team?
The name first is Lazarus. It's hashtag obtain the grain.
Obtain the grain. What's the back
close
say?
up here. Wait. And then...
Don't knock it over. You almost knocked over the tower. And, that's a greater than sign.
That's a good opener. I'm glad I picked this one.
That's solid. That's solid. Also nice to know that their handwriting's also bad. Okay.
As bad as... Well, it's Sharpie on wood.
Which one should we go with here?
Oh, I got to place this on top first.
Oh, is that how it works? Can we just not do that part? Oh, God, it's terrifying. All right. Last thing I want is to knock it over. Should I go for a middle tile? Oh, that's loose. That's perfect. Easy. Yeah. Can't see. Doing it blind. Pulling it out. Boom. All right. Wild Card Gaming. WC. It says, work. That's how you get it. And Sharp Shot is greater than Cammy and Moses playing basketball. So Sharp Shot is better than you. That's his message to the world. Two teams right there.
That's not a hot take.
All right, it's not a hot take.
That's not a hot take.
Wild card, you know, these guys both are teams. Lazarus, I got 30 seconds, so leave it as
I can pull one out and read it in 20.
Hey, then we got to talk about the teams.
Okay, I'm afraid I'm going to topple it over. Okay, yeah, what?
These two teams, I think Wildcard and Lazarus, both sort of in the middle of the pack, are teams that need to use today to push a little harder.
Lazarus are a bit lower than the middle of the pack.
God, you're a hard sell. All right, well, maybe after today, they'll be back in the middle. Avoid relegation. That's the moral of the story. We'll come back with more Jenga after this. I think we're still going. Yeah, I think her count was... Oh, no.
Hey, Drassel.
What up?
So if we get 2 wins today, you have to shave your head.
What?
Yep.
Wait. What?
Yeah, you heard him.
Yep.
Where did I sign for this?
Oh, you didn't.
We signed it for
it's
you.
in the
It's
contract.
democracy. It's 3-1. So.
Yeah. Can we get a yeah? Yeah. Can I beat the heat here, y'all? Yeah. Come on there. I need a yeah.
All that's left to do is run.
You'll be the prince and I'll be the princess.
Loco. It's a love story. Baby, just say. I think Alos is better.
Marry me, Juliet. Summer we can be alone. I'll be waiting.
I think Alos is better.
You know what's a really good song?
What?
Whoa. Nerf, I know you love me. I know you care. Just show whatever, and I'll be there. You are my heart. Come on, you are my
I
love.
don't know the rest of the words.
Something. I will never, ever be apart.
Ooh, really
and
getting
I
into
was
it.
like Ben Wheeler,
Wait, dogs,
like Ben.
dogs. Monka TOS.
What have I missed? Hello?
You
Hey,
didn't
man.
miss shit.
Hey man, you're my baby.
Oh my god.
Oh, like baby. Can we get a yeah, please?
Yeah.
I can't just fucking start it like you do. I'm too low, dude.
Alright, we're gonna win this game. Because I said so.
When you don't need to.
Yeah.
I always
feel like
think
I'm gonna
about it,
jump
I'm
by
like,
accident somehow.
Yeah, I don't keep my hand on the keyboard till I have to.
Yeah.
Bam,
You guys are weird. Oh my god.
Oh!
There's so many people going here.
Yeah, we gotta get a good parachute for this orange mark. We have to get esports. If we don't get esports, we full commit to.
Yeah, keep going.
If we don't get esports, we full commit to mini power. I think.
Yeah, I see the esport.
Oh, it's
I see another Dacia behind. Do I go for that? I have a buggy as well.
I got a buggy.
Holy, there's 4 people on us.
These guys are lower than me for esports.
Pat looks lowest. Pat looks lowest.
No
You
one's
look
going
lowest,
mini.
Pat.
No one's
If you
going
land
mini
on
and
you-
big. No one's going
It's
mini
fine.
and big. I'm going mini.
Yeah, you got it.
I
Pat.
got it.
Let me get it. Oh,
I got
you almost ran me over.
I know, I hit him though.
You hit me.
Knocked one.
Get the guy with the mini, get the
Knock
guy with the
two?
mini.
One on me.
You get the guy with the mini?
No,
Yeah,
crates. Knocked him. 3 down.
I'm getting you done.
Another one in here. I think.
Coming.
In the house,
I think it was only 3, but I'm coming. I'm with you.
Maybe in the door.
I'm 1 HP. I think.
Ben,
got
take
him?
this. Ben.
Was that all dead?
Yeah, all dead.
Good shit, boys.
Let's go! Let's go, dude.
Alright, bro. I'm almost there.
Only 2 crash, I'm pretty sure.
pushing me. Only 2 crash, yeah, I knocked one.
I'm okay for now.
You
Give it a
guys
second. He should
I'm running down.
I'm coming.
Drassel, you need to drive down.
be racing.
And your smoke? Or in their smoke?
No, on the back side.
Yeah, and
I'm nading the smoke, Shrimsy, watch out.
Take it easy. I'll control.
One's in the field.
They're trying to run over, they're getting shot in the back too.
Careful about the other side of the building.
I'm gonna try to res Valak.
Alex, or Drassel, we need you down there.
Yeah.
I hear them running opposite side.
Yeah, west.
They're inside the house.
Yeah, I'm watching for them to peek you.
Meeting.
We need to kill these 2 before anything happens.
You peek the backside with me?
He's inside in the middle part.
Peeking.
Second floor?
No, downstairs.
Okay.
One's on the stairs, really low on the stairs, at the hill.
Okay.
You guys should push, they're coming right now. I feel like.
Knocked him.
There should be one more here, they're crashing.
I'm greeting them at the door.
I knocked one outside.
He's lit, right in front of you, ball. Oh, right behind me.
Inside.
He ran back. He's on me. It's 1v1. He's running on the backside.
I'm dying to that nade.
He's healing on the backside. I'm gonna get a res off.
Okay.
Drassel, I think you instant res.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 seconds.
We're getting pushed in the backside too, I think. I need the small room on the west.
Fuck, he pushed with the nade sound.
That's right, dude.
That's right.
Game 1 is in the books. Let's take a look at the standings for match 1. Tempo Storm, Cameron. WTF?
Like, they already have almost matched their largest lead that we've seen at the end of a day, which was 50. They had 45 at the beginning, and then they get 26 more with closest competitor to them, Cloud9, only getting 9 to follow up. Yeah. So, as far as making this a climactic, tense last day, Tempo Storm are not getting part of the program.
We said that Zampa gave a great interview. It's because all he could do was think about the cha-ching 100K coming his way if they keep playing like this, man. This has been incredible. Matchroom said, I hope they win number 1, so we get to see some crazy stuff out of them for the rest of the day. Wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. Now, that last segment, we saw Ghost get crushed in the 1v4. They took it hard, yes, but they didn't let it get them down. Coming in second place in this one, that's what they need. Remember, Simplicity is on the cusp. Ghost is knocking on the door, and getting 13 points to Simplicity's 2 is going to put them right there on top of where they need to be.
So as frustrating as it is for us knowing what Ghost's potential is, to see them still in 11th, it is still, I guess, good to see them still upping their game and making changes and in a way preparing for future play. Does that make sense?
Does it?
Does it?
Preparing for future play. We're going to get a chance to look at the scoreboard one last time. So, overall standings, and I'm going to tell you guys straight up, this is the last time you're going to see the overall scoreboard until a winner is named later today.
Yeah.
If you're a hardcore fan and you want to go check it out and find resources on your own, they're out there. You know where they are. But we're not showing it because we want to see who gets the big win at the end. Tempo feels pretty comfortably in the lead, Cameron. Yeah. That 4th place, the desire to go to London is the next break point we're going to keep an eye on throughout the day. Y-Temp Fate had a rough game, but they can bounce back. And then, of course, Simplicity has now dropped into relegation range. Yeah. Ghost Gaming passes them off that 2nd place, and they've moved into the safe zone. But Endemic and Smokin' Aces are both very close to being in trouble.
So, yeah, Ghost finally did it, but just as much as they can jump over Simplicity, finally, they can easily fall right back down if oh, hello.
Nice.
Hi.
Sorry, that literally stopped your train of thought.
That it really, it did. What was it? Where are we?
Shout out to @ThePasserby. That was pretty sick. That was a good cosplay.
Oh.
Hey, we're back. Welcome back, guys. My name is Toffees. I'm joined by the Cammy D, the OGN Super Arena behind us. This is Championship Saturday, the last day of official play for the NPL split number 1. Top 4 go to the Face It Classic. Bottom 6 go to relegations. The rest get some time off.
And it's also $200,000 for the total prize pool. 100K. 100K going to the leader, and it is looking so far like Tempo Storm. They're about to hit the Triple Crown, preseason, Royale, and now Phase 1.
How do you beat them? They came in here.
I don't know.
Honestly, if you wanted to stop them from finishing in first, you had to not let them win the first game.
Yeah, it was like
and they dominated it with 4 up. Like that's crazy.
So, and this, okay, I think it was Moses that said this, that this ending that we saw, which was, it wasn't on a field, but it was still wide open space. It's really brutal for teams who can't find their footing. But that's why if you have the confidence backed up by the mechanical ability of Tempo Storm, if you don't have footing, you take footing. You saw at the very end, their rush on Endemic, they weren't in the circle, but they got the knock, and they just spread over, and they've done that time and time again. If you're not given something due to the circumstances of other teams or the circle, you will take it. You need to take it. You need to steal it away, and that is why Tempo Storm are at the top.
That's true, but to a certain extent, I think we're giving a little too much credit. Like, they are so far ahead. They don't have the stressors that other teams have at this point. They can make moves like that. They can push down the hill on two sides, and if it goes badly, they're still in first place. So that, I think, is going to be hard for other teams to overcome, is when a team's that far ahead and doesn't have to worry.
You see, I would take that if they weren't doing this from week 1.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a look back at game 1 and see if we can see a little more about finding your footing and looking for the win. Highlight time, Cameron. Let's do it.
Fights happen very early on. It's because the stress is on a lot of these teams to try and get those points and get those kills.
I don't know if you saw that. He used the canted sight with the red dot. He actually used the canted for the lead advantage. Clever little play. Didn't quite work out.
Yeah, that's a little known fact about how the canted sight, what elbows show out the side when you do different lean stuff. You're trying to make your model as small as possible. And you got the kill that way. United get in a fight with Check Shooter from Simplicity. Low ground is not a good spot to be in.
Two teams that are both fighting it out of the relegation zone end up taking each other on. Hurts them both. United out in 15. But the guys from Simplicity get weekend and go out in 14.
Look at this. There actually was a surprising amount of chaos in Pachinki early on in the game.
This is a mutually assured destruction situation, though. STK in the hole, wild card in the house. Both teams outside the circle. Fight it out, hope for points, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get much from this because no one's walking away. Civil goes down, and then we get Purdy knocked and a chance for Alo to try to have his hero move. Doesn't quite work out. Let's jump over to Space Station Gaming, trying to fend off the Tempo Storm onslaught.
Yeah, and this is, well, the Rampage has already started, but this is when it really goes into full swing. Envy's taken out, another potential top 4 team, but Maloop.
What a shot. So here's the thing about Tempo. They got 16 kills. They rejoined the 16K club for the second time. Doesn't even feel like a crazy achievement because that's just Tempo doing Tempo things.
Exactly. Like, that's what I said at the very beginning. It's just, what can you do if winning with 16 kills is seen as like the norm?
Nothing.
Is par for you.
All I can say is the rest of the teams going to the Face It Classic have to hope that these guys get food poisoning or something, because I don't know how you beat them when they're healthy and standing upright.
God, even 2 down and they still keep everyone up long enough to get the win. It's ridiculous, the team play that Tempo Storm does. You look at other teams, like I think Shoot to Kill is like the big one for final circle team play. Tempo Storm are definitely part of that conversation.
I love watching the evolution of this team. Let's look back at how the game evolved with the nice little map overlaid the stadium. A reflection on Erangel. Noble and Lazarus both went to the military base, a relatively central circle. Lots of options there for most of our teams.
So did Ghost, actually.
Oh, they took that boat rotation thing going on, I think.
Yeah, I don't... Did they do that to camp any other teams that went on the base? Did they do it for vehicles? They didn't want to fight United and Vicious. We don't know. It could be one of those 2 options, but we know they did clash in Lazarus on the bridge.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at the circle as it closes. Another Potato Mountain circle, but it ends up finishing up near the fields of Pachinki. We see those rotations. Tempo coming all the way from their side of the island. Ghost crossing the bridge to get there. But start to finish, this was Tempo's game. Ghost not a slouch. 7 kills, 2nd place.
Like, it needs to be said. Ghost, they should be able to get more kills. We know they have the frag power, but they have leveled up their ability to get into the late game.
Look at that rotation from Tempo Storm, though. That's not an easy transition. They had to go up, over, past Pachinki, through Pachinki Fields, manage sort of that old C9 dip on top of the hill south of Pachinki, and then fight their way all the way to south of Potato Mountain. It wasn't an easy traverse, and that's probably why their kill count was so ridiculously high. Remember, this new scoring system rewards teams that have to find themselves fighting early on. If you can survive, you keep racking up kills.
It's Tempo Storm continuing on the top. It's ridiculous.
What they're playing for.
This is what they're playing for right here.
Beautiful trophy, shiny, and will look great on the mantle next to their giant check from all of their previous winnings. Featured teams in match 2, Simplicity and Ghost Gaming on the cusp. Ghost now out of relegation, Simplicity into it, and Tempo and Cloud9. Side by side, Simp and Ghost.
Finally, we see them swapped. It's been a while. Usually we're seeing them on the opposite side, but the points are still close. 187 versus 194. If they swap their positions from the previous game in this next one, it could go back and forth this entire time. So Ghosts are not out of the woodwork just yet. They need to continue to put forward that work to climb and build that gap.
And a note of caution, the 2 teams above them, Endemic and Smoking Aces, also risking the danger zone as these 2 teams will be looking for them. Next matchup is Cloud9 versus Tempo Storm. Cameron, give me your short thought on these 2.
I mean, they're both really good teams, but there is a gap between Cloud9 and Tempo Storm. It's been there this entire time, and Cloud9, an amazing team. In fact, their damage is higher than Tempo Storm, even though their kills are lower. It's still going to take a lot out of them in 3 games if they want to try and bridge Tempo Storm.
Here's the quick take. I think Cloud9 set for London. Maybe make some big plays on this one. See if you can catch Tempo. Why not? The money's big. Let's do it. But the good news for you guys at home is it is Championship Saturday. We want you to enjoy yourselves. Sit back, relax. Your last good look at the scoreboard. And I'll tell you what, we're going to make faster breaks, Cameron. We're going to rush through these segments so we can get you watching as quickly as humanly possible. So grab yourself a fresh drink while you still have the chance to do so, because we're about to pick up some real steam. Tempo Storm on top, Cloud9 hoping to catch them. Envy and Shoot to Kill looking to hold off the Wolves of WTF and Wildcard as they close. And of course, the fight for relegation. But that is it from us. In the interest of speed, let's get this party started. We're going to send it over to your host, the Triple Crown of PUBG, Matcham, Professosaurus, and Rich Moses.
Thank you so much, Toffees. Yes, indeed, we are headed to game number 2. We are going back to Miramar as for Simplicity, they didn't have the game they wanted. They had a bit of a start there, but Matcham, it did not end well for them.
I mean, they stepped up, they took the fight. This is something that they were wanting to do. They were wanting to try to get some more points, and then it just came apart as so many people just looked back up at them.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough sledding across Potato Mountain there. There were so many teams up there. Envy holding him out of circle. At the end of the day, Simplicity going out a little bit too early with 2 kills to their name. But hey, 7 points separating 11th from 10th right now. Anything can still happen. Ghost has made it into the top 10, but it's by no means secure.
So with this, Ghost has now managed to make it up into 10th. Do you think that they can reach up and touch that 9th place spot and finally move out of, I know we keep watching these guys on the cusp. Can we actually get a new team in the cusp spot?
It depends on what happens in this next game. Miramar has been a bit of a struggle, I think, in terms of Ghost rotations. Coming out of the mines has been difficult for them, but for Tempo Storm, we'll be seeing some patrolling of the map, I would imagine, in this game. For Tempo, they are sitting very pretty atop the leaderboard. So really, that's going to be a chaos factor. I mean, if you're trying to play your game and like have a good time, and all of a sudden Tempo decides to run one and go over in a vehicle for the memes, you know, it's going to be rough going.
I mean, there is a brand new X factor that's happening inside of this. RNG is not going to be the circles. It's going to be where is Tempo and what are they doing?
Yes, indeed. Well, let's see this plane. It's coming across the low side of the middle, and it's going left to right. So we'll have a pretty big access here for these guys to get wherever they want to go. But we'll see what Tempo decides to do, if they're going to stick to their early game looting strategy or just mess around right out of the gate.
Well, look, I mean, regardless of what Tempo decides to do, I got my eyes glued on Cloud9 for this game. Can they come up with one of those big Cloud9 historic type performances? There's 3 games left. They have 3 opportunities to really put something together. Now, obviously the lead looks insurmountable, Moses, but if any team could put something together here in the last couple of games, I believe it's these boys.
It depends how willing they are to just mash that W key and get after some risky situations, because risk-taking is the only way you're going to be able to come out on top. But again, in this game, risk does not always equal reward. And Matcham, it's been an easy start in Picado, but flexing out of Picado, especially with these like southern circles, there's not a lot of incentive for Cloud9 to leave.
Well, that's kind of why they play around this location so much. They kind of take over a couple of buildings. We've seen Cloud9, they just kind of flex out maybe a couple of 100 meters to start with, try to get to high ground points. But really, I also want to keep an eye on why Tim's... Oh, my God. That's all I'm going to say.
We talked about the independent... Wow, the circle. Oh, my goodness. We talk about the independent variable of Tempo Storm. What about our teams that are already in relegation, have no hope, like, I don't know, Lazarus? 4 corners here.
Yep. We can see one of them's on the island. Woe's over there hanging out.
Well, I want to know how many times he's actually gone to this. How many times have you gone to this island ever in your history of playing PUBG?
I can't say ever. I don't nothing that comes to mind.
I'm gonna say about like 5 times max.
I think maybe like whenever Miramar first came out, and we were doing the I want to see every nook and cranny of this map.
To be fair, I mean, do what you want. For Lazarus, I understand that you're in relegations, you haven't had a great tournament, but I think you need as much good practice as possible. So if you're Lazarus, I don't think now is the time to start flexing into the memes. Maybe save that for your NPLC scrims.
I'm about it. I'm living the Lazarus life right
Fair
now.
enough.
I love the 4 corners.
I guess I'm a curmudgeon.
Hey, at this point, you realize what you got against you. I mean, right now, Sub-Zero kind of surrounded a little bit by Smoking Aces here. Whoa, just surrounded by water as we see McCoy actually very, very close to Mr. Adam from Shoot to Kill.
Running around in a very interesting spot, Graveyard. I really do like playing around this location, but it's got a lot of tricky angles. You've got naturally the bell tower that you can climb up. You can easily get roof access as well. Looks like McCoy has realized, this might not be worth, and might be retreating back to his teammates.
I mean, Ghost, they have the mines here with Shoot to Kill coming a little bit further south than we might normally see them. Actually, they're in Hacienda. They're where they're supposed to be. But for Ghost Gaming, McCoy, he's running a bit of a risk here. Adam can land that shot. No helmet on McCoy just yet. And for Ghost, even though they had a good last game, they are definitely not in the meme band. They're not anywhere where they want to be. They just want to keep moving up and away from that relegation spot.
I'm curious. We briefly touched on it by saying, oh my God, it's ridiculous. But this circle, this circle, of all the circles to get when you have so much riding on the line as far as relegation goes, as far as top 4 goes, do you think that having a circle like this makes it more or less likely that a random team might end up getting a boat ton of kills and a win here?
Well, one thing I'm going to be keeping an eye on is Tempt Fate. We talked about it. They're right in that spot. They could potentially reach up and touch 4th spot, and they drop down towards the south. This could be a great game for them.
Yeah, they're 22 points out, Matt, and really for them, they got to find any levels of kills. As VZ, he's trying to find his kill onto K-Mine, trying to do all that damage to his Bronco. But it's going to be K-Mine skirting with those hills and getting away from VZ. But yeah, for Tempt Fate, they're in the south side. They start in the south. They can come down and try and catch teams in rotation. Normally in this case, that might be a team like Wildcard, maybe Endemic. But this is kind of a chaotic lobby now.
See, I see y'all. Y'all don't want to commit to answering my question, so you're just gonna completely skirt the issue.
You said you're like, do you think that it's gonna be a random fate?
Okay.
Tempt Fate is inside the circle already. They're in 5th spot. You're talking about,
so you think
a random team? I think they have a good shot.
If they had a trick up their sleeves, they would have showed it to us already, I think, for Tempt Fate.
I think Tempt Fate and E United have good shots inside this room.
Yeah. All right. Do you how about committing to the island? Do you commit to the island?
No, you can't. Not in this case. I mean, we've seen these circles, at least in public play, whenever we do get Miramar, to go all the way south in these situations. But, I mean, teams are still going to stick to that center strategy. United's going to be no different. Cloud9 coming south as well. Envy is still gunning, man. They don't want to let go of this thing. They can put up 25-plus point performances now and again. I think they've kind of fallen off the honeymoon wagon, but if you're Envy, you're still vying for that first place spot.
One thing to note as well is whenever things kind of go sideways and everybody has to do the hashtag adapt to some crazy circles, Shoot to Kill, who always has this game plan for what feels like everything, they tend to do quite well in really random circles like this.
That is true. That is true. I mean, I think that we got to keep an eye on the little areas close to bridges here, just in case something wild ass does happen. I think you got to kind of take that position where you can cross over as quickly as possible. One thing to note, though, Tempt Fate on this little peninsula here, out of all the teams in the NPL, Tempt Fate, the only team that has not once entered the water. They have 0 time swimming.
And I was about to call them an old meta team.
Well, there you go. Uh-oh, Interrogate under some pressure here from Dill Hero from range. He's already lost a couple of tires. He's going to throw the smoke out and get a little heal on here. He's got Moody just off to the side here, so he should be safe.
Interrogate. If he can escape this, he might have to use some more heals.
Oh, no.
And he's not going to make it. Intero, just as a quick update for you guys, the most heals used overtaking Profi, and there's an example why. Sometimes finding himself in a place he doesn't want to be, taking lots of damage.
Now, see what I was like?
He's caterpillaring.
They're in a good spot for this game. Look at the control that they have over this zone.
Well, this is big news for E United, though, as well, because they could stand to pick up a couple of points here and there. Already got the down on Interrogate. It looks like Moody's just going to go ahead and bail off of this, or maybe rejoin Venerated, maybe try to go and get a res. Nope, there it is. Interrogate gone down. That's E United getting 1 point.
Kind of I mean, Tero seemed a little bit out of position there. Didn't see how he got there, but regardless, for Tero, he'll be spending this game looking at his teammates running around for Moody. It's been a big step back into the NPL for him. He's matched all of the statistical categories of a superstar at this stage, putting a lot. But for Envy, I still think they have a few kinks to work out.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great first week, right? The first day in particular, I mean, they picked up so much ground, managed to get top 4 off of that one day, and then they've just kind of been treading water since. Meanwhile, NPL Phase, it's still in striking distance, but, Envy performing just well enough to keep that top 4, and it'd be nice to see them go to one of these big international events. It's been a while since we've seen Envy at one of those. I can't remember if they've ever had.
Really hard. Has Envy ever?
I don't think they've ever gotten an invite.
I don't think so either. Well, I mean, it's a historic. Prior to their roster change, a historic team or roster changes, I should say.
I believe, GLL.
But I mean, NPL Phase is that they're gunning for them. I mean, Envy is the team that I think has the highest likelihood, Matt, to potentially, fall apart here in this last couple of games.
Well, they have the biggest problem that they have to deal with right now, which is they have the new factor of a new teammate, which is while Moody has been doing great, there's just a certain amount of synergy that takes time to develop. So whenever you get these really high stress situations where you're in the top couple of, last couple of games for the NPL, last couple of spots, figure out if you can go towards London, and then you get some really crazy circles that are coming into play like this. Sometimes it's not always about communication, it's just about having that understanding, that mental awareness of, I already know that this is what my teammate's gonna do.
We talk about the fact that somehow Lazarus has managed to get back all together. They've got 2 and 2, and they're about to get all 4 back together here on the island. So hey, new strats.
Yeah, that's one for the playbook there. Let's all drop randomly, and then we'll take boats back to each other. That's one that's going to be reliable strategy.
You say considering how many times they've gotten hit by shoot to kill, and they're going to go for the race.
Oh no, I was going to say Tempo Storm spotted themselves out a crate and are driving their way over towards it.
Baluk is about to act as like Coast Guard.
Oh no!
Pull over.
Watch it be an MT49 as the circle has popped, and we are going to go back to the mainland, so no crazy island finishes, unfortunately. Hate to see it, but we're going to be heading a little bit farther to the north. Looks like C9 and Endemic have a good spot here.
Look, Lazarus, they were in their boats. They were going to go regroup with their friends, but they might bump into Maluk. Uh-oh, Maluk.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you saw him prep up. He was like, do I want to take these shots? No, there's probably a couple of them inside of it. And it's going to be his teammates actually providing defense. The rest of Tempo Storm taking a couple of hot shots back down towards Lazarus. Starting to be a little bit hazardous. You can see Sharky doing a lot of damage to Sub-Zero. He is their gunman, so if he goes down early, that's going to be bad for the rest of them. So I think at this point, it's just regroup with your friends and get away from the bullets just coming out from Tempo Storm.
Not like this. Lazarus finding new and exciting ways to die. Actually, they're meta shifting ways.
They were trying to hide behind the boat, and the boat just won't give it to them. So now Tempo Storm is just taking shots like crazy over there. Luke managed to make landfall, and you can see the rest of Lazarus just trying to make it towards her friends.
Hit one. Sub-Zero find himself a little definitely. No, it's going to be enough for Maluk to find him with the MK14 and finish off the kill. That's a good shot. That's some range there from Luke.
I'm sitting here looking at this. This is about, what, 400 or 500 meters that they're hitting somebody that's running off in the distance for this. Whoa, narrowly makes it, but here we go. Ghost looks like they hear a little bit of something happening. Might want to... they were thinking about joining the party, but looks like Alex decided, nah, maybe that's not the best idea. You have to know Tempo Storm rotates low like this.
Yeah, well, Ghost, I feel like, has been caught out a few times by Tempo rotating down on this southern road. They hear the gunshots, they think better of it. They're going to head north into this new circle, splitting the difference between Tempo and Smoking Aces.
See what Tempo decides they want to do here, if they want to rotate and try to bridge camp poor Lazarus, or if they're going to try and move around and do something else. But for Ghost Gaming, they're rotating very nearby. Trey's going to hear these vehicles on the move, not in a position to do anything about it just yet, but on that southwestern side, we have a couple of teams trying to make their way out and around. Oxy specifically trying to take that bridge route out of Val Del Mar, and here's the shots coming from Smoking Aces onto Ghost Gaming.
Something else to note, Tempo Storm had another crate land over there next to them, so that's just more toys for them to work with. We've got Smoking Aces looking back over towards Ghost in their rotation. Looks like they're going in a little bit further, but Ghost might actually choose to stop. You can see McCoy is no longer inside of a vehicle, and they might actually gatekeep this out.
Yeah, I think McCoy had to jump out of his vehicle. I think he was getting sprayed down a little bit too much, had to stop and get the heal on. Hopefully his teammates can maybe get in a position where they can provide him a little bit of cover fire. Yeah, you see the shots coming out now, so Belisha's going to have to drop back down. Hopefully McCoy gets out of that spot as we see Space Station might be running right into the back of Tempo here.
It's got your boy Dre takes the first couple of shots. Actually, it's going to be Space Station Gaming just jumping out of their vehicles. The rest of Tempo Storm were in a position, looked like they were trying to catch people in rotation. Is your boy Dre going to get spotted out? Wynn's playing off of a back angle for it, so might not spot him. I like the way that Dre is playing this because he has full cover from his rear from all of his teammates if he's playing that side of the building. Look, you can see Sharky, the rest of the guys from Tempo Storm just looking down the hillside, making sure he's protected.
Space Station Gaming in a position, well, I'm not sure, they're not really committing to where they're going. Space Station Gaming always seems so tentative in their decision making. We saw last game, Vexel, the only guy collecting points from kills, whereas the rest of his squad was just kind of wiped prone in the field, no real position to react. So for Space Station Gaming, they got to find some sort of team mantra, some idea that they can stick to, because look at this, they're just in this big pack of players.
Well, it's making a mess. Tempo Storm being in this position, taking these shots, is really forcing Smoking Aces, Ghost, and Space Station Gaming to all kind of reposition, and now Space Station Gaming, being the last crew to come in, is going to be running through a gauntlet of 8 players just waiting for them. And yeah, Trimsy making his push back down this hillside. You can see Wynn still playing around the outside of this. Everybody from Ghost is starting to have more and more people. They were in the right spot to catch everybody as they made this crash in. Vexel's going to be coming up right back behind this. So now everybody from Ghost trying to rally and get ready from the push that's going to be coming from Space Station Gaming. Wynn just trying to get a little bit more health up.
Well, it's not like Ghost is particularly adept at these situations where they have someone in their midst, potentially 1v4ing. Oh! Speaking of which, McCoy's going to find the first shot on the D-Master, sleeping a little bit there as McCoy jumps out on the balcony, not watching the angle, so D-Master quick flush there, and now Space Station Gaming is going to have to react.
Yeah, meanwhile, Smoking Ace is kind of overseeing all of this, really making sure that Space Station can't hang out on the outside of this, play these walls. You can see Shrimsy trying to reposition here a little bit. Looks like Smoking Ace might have given up on the oversight, but just trying to make sure that Space Station stays where they want him to stay right now as the grenade's going to come out from Wynn.
That's going to be dangerous. McCoy's going to run back in, potentially try to play around cover. He does manage to survive through it, but a lot of shots coming out.
God.
Just sprays it down. Look at that Drassel.
They have there's no cover out here. I mean, they ran in front of the only cover piece they had. Man.
Still, at the end of the day, big boy plays coming out of Ghost. They realize that they still have a lot of work to do as far as climbing and securing that top 10 spot. So good news for them so far, but Smoking Aces now want to get involved as well.
Inside of that exchange, Tempo Storm repositioned inside the circle. So now we've got Smoking Aces caught in a little bit of a difficult spot as Cherry Poppins not inside the safe zone. Sure, Smoking Aces managed to get away from everything that was happening around that Ghost Space Station Gaming fight, but now you put yourself right up in front of Tempo Storm.
Yes, indeed. So for Ghost Gaming, that's a big pickup for points, man. Regardless of how it plays out for Space Station Gaming, Ghost is the one that's reaping the benefits. They're going to come to a quick stop. Spotting Define Legit in the low ground, potentially there. Yes, indeed, McCoy will spot him out, but this is going to be a tough press. I think it looks like Tempo's got a bit of a line on McCoy.
Tempo really has just such great sight lines on everything. You can see almost all the teams are playing the backside of these hills, just trying to deny any vision at any given point. Noble's starting to do a little bit of an encroachment up, and that's going to be a little bit of a dangerous position coming out from Ghost Gaming as they were still just trying to get a little bit more of a reposition, but now every single time they inch a little bit further forward, there's just another team waiting for them.
Just so much going on this southeastern side of the map right now as it looks like Ghost is going to finally be able to get out of this, but Tempo Storm and Smoking Aces right on top of each other. Noble right on top of it as well.
Envy's running a 2-2 split along this location. Drassel hops out. You can hear the firefight. You can see way off in the distance. It's going to be one of the other members from Envy. Sharky just on the hunt right now, looking for more members of Smoking Aces. He's got Define Legit right up in front of him. He's just got to be very careful cresting these hills because remember, Cherry Poppins was late to this party, so he's still playing a very high ground position, taking the shots back over to Sharky, forcing him to reposition off of it. But no, Sharky just steps back up, sees Crow, trying to get a little bit of damage off, but Sharky takes about half of his life. Everybody's looking back up towards Cherry Poppins. It's a great flank coming out from two of the members from Tempo Storm, but it's so hard to get the angle off onto this.
I like in the way that they've set themselves up here in the low ground, but for Smoking Aces, they often have trouble getting past Tempo Storm in these team fights.
We've got Sopalicious in a little bit of trouble here. Cherry Poppins trying to go for a reposition. Tempo Storm is just starting to take control over this area. We say that so often, but look, Cherry Poppins now down, Sopalicious in a lot of trouble, and everybody from Tempo Storm just seems to know where it's at. Look at the discipline coming out from them, not even going for real flushes at this point until they really just have to, and they know they've got complete and utter dominance of this fight. Sopalicious just hiding next to Hay Bales going, Which angle are they going to come from? It's a matter of a guessing game for him. He just has to expect it. You can see
They
Zampa
might go for a pan here.
starting to make their way through. A couple of shots now coming through. Maluk's going to take a little bit of damage on that, but that's going to give away his position. So malicious. You've just got a flood of people coming after you, and Zampa's going to walk up and take that one.
The disrespect.
Jeez, I mean, they just swarmed him there. But while all this is going on, the new circle has popped. It's going to go hard to the southeast, so they had the time to really finish out this fight as much as they want. Meanwhile, Noble just off to the north, not really getting involved, but you can see in the kill feed, Vicious Gaming now getting involved in a fight with E United.
We've got Vicious Gaming over here next to Wildcard, as well as E United on exchange back and forth off of this. Dash gets taken out. Shiru's trying to prep the grenade, but you can see that Fried is already on the move. He's in a little bit of trouble. He still needs to make his way inside the safe zone, but you can see E United just holding the angle so that way nobody from Vicious Gaming or Wildcard can even move behind their rocks. So now you can see with this, a little bit of a position coming out of play. You can see E United starting to go for a little bit of a flank off to the side of it. Shoot to kill starting to make their way back up. And it always seems like it's shoot to kill and Endemic just bumping into each other as they try to cross. So much utility is being played off of this. Something's got Adam right up into his face. So it's just trying to get a nade off on this angle, but you can see retaliation nades coming back from shoot to kill. It's everybody just vying for some type of position of control. It's going to be a little bit of a peek back and forth as Wolf does get the down onto Purdy Curdy. A little bit of an opening comes through, but one member of Endemic already out.
Endemic's kind of on their back foot. They do get the opening down onto Purdy Curdy, but they're going to have a lot of time to get this res, put down their utility, and try to avoid the press, but they're coming on the low side map.
Here comes the push from Wolf, walking back up inside. This something starting to make a little bit more of an aggressive play as well. Off to the side of that, it's going to be Adam that's holding that position. He goes down. Now a lot of trouble coming up from shoot to kill. Uncivil's taking a lot of damage off of this. He just has to wait and try to hold that angle. He goes down as well. This is starting to just turn up everything for Endemic as they're running up the hillside. Purdy Curdy did get res, but he is taking a lot of damage, trying to rest, try to get that med up. But here you go. You can see Alo already making his way down that hillside. Purdy Curdy starting to push up.
While all this is going on, Ghost has slowly been creeping in from that eastern side. They have a 2 on the low end, 1 on the high end. They could end up feasting off of this if they find the right angle here.
So now Ghost slowly making their way back up. Purdy Curdy trying to find the angle for this. He can hear all the footsteps moving around them. Something starting to go for a little bit lower of a position. Keep in mind, a little bit of a dangerous spot as Alo now spots out McCoy. Remember, 2 members of Shoot to Kill. That's going to be an instant turnaround onto this. That's going to be a flush. Ghost Gaming now starting to make their way up the hillside. Just 1 member of Shoot to Kill left, stuck between 2 teams that are vying for each other. Now a little bit of exchange back and forth as Purdy Curdy pops up, but he does get taken down. Something now retreating back for the res. Is Ghost going to push?
This is an interesting situation now. Ghost Gaming did lose McCoy on that little initial push up the mountain, but now Balak, he's getting more aggressive. They have to know that reses are coming. They have to seize the moment here, Matt.
With this 6 kills Ghost Gaming is sitting on, they're playing this aggressive. Surely Balak had to spot that out, going for a little bit more of a reposition before he takes shots, but it's going to be Envy on the backside of this, doing a lot of damage onto Balak, forcing him to reposition off of this, and this gives a much needed little bit of space and breathing room for Endemic.
How many times have we seen it where a team gets spared essentially the fight by having the random third party come in from range here on Miramar, as you see Envy automatically turning it around and heading into the circle, but Ghost not giving up the Ghost yet.
Still, after those kills, they've got Mini Fridge Jr. right in front of him. Drassel spots out, goes for the spray. That was absolutely so fast. Gonna pick up at least 1 more kill point on that as the rest of Endemic just runs down the hillside. But now they're bumping into Cloud9, taking shots at range. It's gonna be a very difficult cross coming out for them. Where are they gonna go? Looks like it might be right over towards Envy. They're spotting out the same location, and here comes the spray, gonna force them up and over this hillside.
Unfortunate. Endemic has nowhere to stop at this point. Something is going to jump out a little bit early. They had to leave Mini Fridge behind. A little late to move for Mini Fridge, but Ghost in pursuit. They've come in from the north side as well, and they're going to be running right into Cloud9. They're taking a lot of damage, and there they go in a big cloud of smoke and fire. Ghost is down in 10th place.
Cloud9 now has control over this area. Just to the south of them, the remaining members of E United, I think a remaining member of E United, Geis, hanging out next to Vicious Gaming, but they also do have a lot of stuff that's going off next to them. Tempo Storm, 5 kills in such a great spot right now. They've got Noble just to the north of them. Nice shot onto a Daclus, going to drop him early. Noble really has to choose which direction they want to go as they're spreading out. They've got Envy off of one side, they've got Tempo Storm on another.
Ghost went out early, but they already have 7 kills, so they're going to be able to pick up a little bit of steam here on Simplicity as you see Tempo still alive, still strong, still raining down fire on top of Noble.
They should be able to get this res back over to Maluk. A lot of damage coming out, depends on how fast the smoke plumes with this. So Now we can see Lazarus actually has control over the center of the circle and is taking shots at a ton of people right now. Fudge just trying to do some work onto Venerated, gonna get the down off of that. Keep in mind, they do have a lot of area they can get if they can manage to take down Endemic and Envy, who are both right next to them. But Patcaps wants to get a little bit more. Looks like he's on the hunt. He has to have a general idea on where Fudge is at, but Tempo Storm taking shots at range.
And this is a great game for Y10 Fate. It looks like Envy is going to go out on the edge of the zone here. Patcaps is dodging, trying to find a way from the withering fire of Cloud9, but for Y10 Fate, they've got lots of room on their side of the zone.
I mean, they have such control over that area. New Circle Pop's going to make its way back over towards Lazarus, Endemic, and Tempo Storm. That's got to be nerve-wracking at any given point. If you're any fan other than Tempo Storm, whenever you hear Tempo Storm gets the circle.
Look at them. They're having a great time. They're all laughing and having a blast here. There's still 3 alive, still have the circle with them. And, I mean, they have C9 and Y10 Fate that are still getting involved here, taking shots at VZ.
It's going to be Cloud9 coming back up on a different angle from this. Keep in mind, Vicious Gaming is having to retreat from Y10 Fate, who is just slowly making their way up that hillside back behind them. They haven't necessarily gone for the push yet because they realize that they need to get control over the circle. So Y10 Fate moving away from that. Cloud9 also starting to do the same. That means Vicious Gaming is going to be the last group inside of this to make this push.
Shoot to kill on going out early means Cloud9 is going to try and collect as many points as they can, try and make any move towards that first place spot as hard as it might be, because apparently Tempo Storm messing around is again in the circle with 4 strong.
We got Patcaps just sitting there waiting, trying to catch out any members of Noble that he can. So that's going to force Fudge to retreat back off of this, but Patcaps still needs to make his way inside the circle. There's a lot of damage being done around them. Here comes Cloud9. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and try to make some type of vehicle fortification around the shack. But here comes Vicious Gaming. We talked about it. Latecomers into the fight could sneak up right back behind Cloud9. Can they do some big damage to them is the question.
Cloud9 hasn't turned their attention over this way yet. Now they will as the shots come out from VG. Will it be enough? The spray is going to take out K-Mine and Profi. Oh, and the grenade's going to finish off Profi as well.
So with this, Vicious Gaming get a much needed set of control. They're just trying to spray through. They know it's Cloud9 in front of them. They have a building to work around, but it's going to be Patcaps again, showing up and inflicting more damage to a team. The rest of Cloud9 now inside the shack, just trying to do some form of damage control, get the reses off, get the meds back up. It's going to be VZ and Shuru that now have to rethink their approach.
You know what? That's going to be, they're going to have to send him a bottle of wine, Patcaps, for that one, because Cloud9 was just saved by the last man from Envy. VG's going to have to push in with the zone. They lost their opportunity to do more damage to Cloud9. VZ still trying to harass, but Tempo Storm, they've come all the way out of cover. They're looking for more kills.
They are just lined up across the hillside. They're sneaking up. You can see on the mini-map, they're after Pat along that same angle. So Vicious Gaming is doing a ton of work to Cloud9, but that's really unlocking Tempo Storm to just start flanking around any part of the map that they want. Keep in mind, Y10 Fate is still so strong, taking shots on another angle. Cloud9's just finding themselves pincered between so many squads.
But that's the thing, Y10 Fate needs to start getting more involved. They need to get more kills. If they're going to get enough points to make it into that top 4, they need to start making things happen.
Pan him.
Patcaps in a little bit of trouble. As you can see, Flashbang goes off in his face. And that's going to be Tempo Storm taken up, getting their 10 kills. Now they've got a couple of members from Endemic, but I think they've got their sights set on Cloud9 just off in the distance.
I'll be so sad if I don't see a Tempo Storm pan kill at some point today.
You want it so bad. Every single time. You're just like, pan him, do it.
Get him.
I feel bad for Wolf right now. He's had Cloud9, Tempo Storm, everybody just taking shots around him, and he's just hanging out in the back of that truck.
Just hanging out.
He looks like a bale of hay.
Well, how about Lazarus? I mean, Lazarus comes into this game trying to screw around. They managed to screw around and make it to the top 5, 3 strong.
Does that make you feel better or worse about you as a team?
When you're memeing it up and your meme strat gets you farther than your normal strats, I don't know, man. That's a tough call.
Lazarus has to be careful as they've got Y10 Fate coming back behind them. Meanwhile, Cloud9 still just trying to do a little bit more damage control, trying to get some type of, I want to say, safety in the area around them, but Tempo Storm is just unrelenting as they just keep trying to pull off flank upon flank. Zampa is moving away from the safe zone just to try to get an angle on the remaining members of Cloud9. Sharky's just doing a withering amount of damage. Just, it's unrelenting at this point.
I can't believe how much damage they've actually managed to do. We were expecting something like, I don't know, driving around, you know, maybe boating, but they're just like, you know what, let's just mess around, maybe win another game here.
Just why not? What happens whenever they win another game? I just kind of curious because they were wanting to have fun with this one, but that's going to be Zampa getting some nice shots onto Nerf. Everybody from Cloud9 just kind of huddled back there, and again, still we see Wolf just hanging out. At some point, he doesn't even have to move. He's inside the safe zone, but I'm willing to bet Oh, no, that's going to be a long-range grenade back over towards Cloud9. I was thinking maybe they might have an idea that he's there.
Wolf.
Could he pop up at any given point? He
Wolf
hears
save
it
us all.
happening around him. Is he going to take any shots?
Pan this one.
Looks like he's starting to get a little bit more aggressive. He's still got his pan, so he might go for it. There's going to be the spray, and it's going to be a lot of the truck taking that. Wolf steps up and gets down by Sharky, and Tempo Storm's like, hey, thanks, we'll take that point for you. Now Cloud9 did manage to get a little bit of space, but walks him down to Lazarus.
But look at all these kills that are getting taken up here, and Y10 Fate isn't getting any of them. Of all the people left in this lobby, the people that need the kills the most, that need the points the most, are Y10 Fate, and they're not getting involved in any of this.
This is coming up beautiful for Y10 Fate, though. Keep in mind, they're playing the other side of this fight. K-Mine in a lot of trouble. Hetro's just going to spray him down from back behind, as again, Y10 Fate just getting more and more control of the area. Finally, everybody looks back their direction. Hetro takes a lot of damage, but Lazarus just gets demolished between the two teams. So with this, down to 2, we've got Tempo Storm and Y10 Fate. Tempo Storm sitting at the top of the leaderboard, absolutely
13.
comfortable. But Y10 Fate, who wants so badly to manage to get into that top 4 spot, they're presently in 5th. They need some big games. Could this be it?
You know, for Y10 Fate, I hate to say it, but I don't think 7 kills is enough for them right now. They needed to have been a little bit more active earlier. Yes, it would have been a risk, but this team needs to take risks if they have any hope of breaking into that top 4 and going to London.
Well, I mean, with this, it's going to be Tempo Storm that's taking so many points. They're already confirmed inside of that.
Yeah.
So that almost kind of works for them as well. Y10 Fate doing a little bit of a separation now. As you can see, Baja walk out way off on that back angle. Here comes the firefight as everybody's starting to get a little bit of vision on each other. Sharky's still playing that high ground position. Gonna be your boy Dre going down off of this first. Now that's going to make this a 2v4. Sharky, Zampa still playing that high ground, looking back down towards Valiant. He's wide out in the open, trying to juke around the shots. Gonna manage to duck down back behind this, but Hetror way off in the distance. He has that weapon. He can manage to hit these shots. Can he get the right angle for it?
Literally the first time ever in the history of the world that lying prone when you're getting shot at from a high angle has been the great decision to make for Valiant, though, as Sharky and Zampa trying to score a couple of more kills here. Valiant gets taken very, very low.
This is a must-win for Y10 Fate,
It has
by
to
the
be.
way. Must-win. They have to win this.
So now Zampa just playing around the Murado, trying to use it as cover. Hypoc right on the other side. Hetror slowly moving forward. Valiant's just being forced back behind that tree. It is so dangerous for him. Zampa now starting to go for reposition.
Baja
with an amazing flank back behind it. Now it's all on to Zampa, and it looks like they've got him spotted out. Baja taking a little bit of damage, but Zampa does as well. Zampa's just trying to fight himself out of this little ditch as everybody from Y10 Fate is around him. He goes for the drop shot, gets one, but cannot get the second one. Y10 Fate with 10 kills managed to make themselves a round victor.
They were out by 22 points going into this game. That's a 20-point game for them right there. Obviously, we're not going to know. We're going to have to try and do the math ourselves.
No, honestly, I'm not doing the math. I absolutely love it. I want to have that hype ready to go. Y10 Fate's a big 20-point game. They're going to do a lot to catch up with Envy, but look at Envy. Envy actually finishing in 6 with 3 kills as well. So, I mean, they're getting points to move themselves up, but Y10 Fate, a big chunk of that lead has been cut down.
Envy's been a little shaky today, and I think the pressure's starting to get to them, and with that 4th place spot, they're guarding it just as heavily as Tempo Storm is guarding first. So for Y10 Fate, this is another move in the right direction, and there's still 2 games left.
At what point does it become cruel and unusual punishment what Tempo Storm is doing to this lobby? I mean, they're like, hey, let's goof off and have fun. 2nd place with what? I'm looking over here. Is it 13 kills? Man, that's, okay, I get that that's fun, but...
I mean, if only there was a way to bottle the confidence that you get by playing from first place with a 50-point lead. Just give it to those people who actually need to gain the points. I feel like Tempo could be millionaires at the end of this thing.
It's not a fair lobby in that case. I mean, confidence comes at a premium, and that Tempo Storm has done it. They've basically put themselves in a position where they can do literally anything they want. They were taking that game easy and just messed around, got a 13-point second place placement.
But we talked about momentum to start with. Y10 Fate? Yep. Is this the start of momentum? They have 2 games to close, just a couple of points at this stage to maybe manage to get into that top 4 and go on to face it at the Classic.
I mean, we talked about it going into today, how badly Y10 Fate wants it, how badly Hypoc wants to go and play in his home country. They have made a huge stride, a huge step to getting that goal here in this game 2 here.
Absolutely. I mean, for Y10 Fate, it's now about that confidence. Can they take, because we saw a little bit of tentativeness. I think they could have picked up a couple more kills there with Lazarus, but they just did not want to make that risk. And now, you know, with that win, does that encourage them to make more risks or play conservatively again, which has gotten them into trouble?
And that's the problem that comes into play. Whenever you start climbing up that leaderboard and you get so close to it, you almost start double thinking yourself. You're like, do we play this aggressive or do we go for positioning? And you got to be so cautious about that.
That's the thing now, though. You can, even though we don't have our leaderboards, you know it's just a handful of points. It's it's less than 10. It's within reach. It's very, very doable. Now, White Temp Fate just needs to do it.
Well, we'll see what they have to say for themselves. They are standing by down on the stage with Rachel.
Thank you, guys. I'm down here with Valiant and Y10 Fate, one of our teams in one of those very precarious positions in this final day. You guys could potentially get to the Face It Classic through your performance. This is what you needed to do, and you guys knocked it out of the park this round.
Yeah, it feels good because normally we're known as one of the best teams in NA, but we've been struggling a little bit, so it's been a little rough season from the start. I know we got third in preseason. We were doing good at the beginning, but to pick it back up in the last week gives us a good amount of confidence. We got a high kill win yesterday. We're doing well today. It's feeling good, and we closed that gap, so it looks like we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, this is a lot of pressure on your shoulders here. That 4th place position gets you all the way to London now. You're calculating how Envy's doing. You're calculating how you're doing. Is that interfering at all with your ability to play the game? Because you guys are doing better than ever.
Yeah, not at all. I think, especially for this team, we're always looking at points. We're always seeing like, okay, numbers up, Envy's up, all these teams that are close to us. But we play good under pressure, and we've proven it time and time again, especially at other lands, pulling it through on the last day and everything. So I don't know. I guess it's just how we play. But we play good under pressure, even though we're in the back of our minds, we're worrying about other teams. We're playing to our full potential now, so it feels good. We went over a lot of stuff, and it's good to see things working.
All right, give me a by teammate. How have they improved over the year? What's the biggest surprise, the biggest happiness that you've gotten watching them grow?
For all my teammates?
All of them.
I mean, the biggest thing is, because we pretty much have been a team for close to, I guess, like a little under a year now for me, because I was the newest addition to the team, to see how everyone's like attitudes change and everything. Because like whenever you have bad seasons, people go through rough patches. But to have a team like this, like even during the rough patches, to sit down, even though you're frustrated, have a good talk, and pick things back up. I think that's the biggest thing. You have like Headshore. A big thing is he's putting a lot of input now. Before he was a little more quiet when I was on the team. Now he's putting a lot of input, saying the things we should do, being more aggressive. Same thing with Baha. Baha's especially like Baha was known as like a crazy fragger too, and he's a really good fragger. But his input, I don't know if a lot of people know, is actually insane. How much he's talking about, especially just the input he gives and recommendations to help me call. And Hypoko as well. Just a nuts player, good attitude, really good mindset. And it's good to see them helping me as a shot caller. I'm not doing anything by myself. Everyone's giving me good input, so that's pretty much it. Everyone's team ability to grow and play with each other.
Well, you guys have evolved over the season. It's been a joy to watch. What would it mean for you and your team to go to London?
I think it would mean a lot more to us than most people, mainly because Pak is from there. He's from the UK, and his parents are going to be there, and it would just be nice to have his parents come out and watch the games and everything. So I think that's a big thing, that he's coming back home. I know he tweeted it before the tournament. I'll see you guys in London. So it's going to feel real nice if we could bring it back, especially with that big gap that we just closed.
Well, you certainly sound like you have a lot to fight for, and you brought the fight to us here at the final day of NPL. When we get back from this commercial break, we'll see how it all plays out.
Haha, fooled you.
We're back. All right, let's do it. Jenga time.
Okay.
Analyst takeover. For those of you who knew, you know what's going on. Jenga.
Jenga.
That was a tough one. That was a bold
pull. I'm trying to make this hard for you. I'm hoping that it will last